The pain hit like a blade under my ribs, sharp, exact, almost surgical. I remember gripping the edge of the hospital bed with both hands, the fluorescent lights smearing into long, trembling lines. I called her. I couldn't breathe, but I dialed anyway. "Appendix," I whispered. "Ruptured. They're prepping me for—" She didn't even lower her voice. "I'm busy at my cousin's wedding. I can't deal with this right now." Then the line died. Not a goodbye, not even a breath of hesitation, just silence. I stared at the phone in my palm, the screen still glowing with her name, and something colder than the pain seeped into me. Not shock, not confusion, recognition, a truth forming in the dark, quiet parts of my mind. The nurse asked if I needed someone called. I said no. My voice sounded like someone else's. When the anesthesia crawled through me, the last thing I thought about wasn't death. It was her tone. The way she sounded, relieved. When I woke up, the room was dim and empty. Hours had passed. My wife wasn't there. Only a nurse stood by the window, adjusting the blinds. She apologized for my waiting alone, said she had tried contacting my emergency contact. I told her not to worry. I didn't tell her the emergency contact was my wife. The nurse slipped a folded note onto the tray, something the doctor wanted both of us to read. A medical summary, a recommendation, a line that made my pulse slow in a way unrelated to surgery. Discuss paternity screening regarding inherited risk. That phrase, short, clinical, but it cracked something open. Not loudly, quietly, like a lock. Our daughter, quiet, observant, barely a year old, had skin tones that never quite matched either of us. A different curl in her hair, a different tilt of her eyes. I had noticed. Of course I had noticed, but I had folded the thought up and tucked it away, the way you pocket a dangerous secret you're not ready to hold. I stared at the ceiling, my wife's distance, her phone turned over at night, the late errands, the sudden weekend family events I wasn't invited to. The pieces I had ignored were suddenly arranging themselves without my permission. But I wasn't ready to say the word. Not yet. She arrived 3 hours later, hair immaculate, makeup stiff, dress perfect. She smelled like champagne and someone else's cologne. She kissed the air near my cheek, not me. Her eyes didn't linger. "I left the reception early," she said, as if that were supposed to impress me. I nodded. My heart was steady. Too steady. Our daughter was asleep in her arms, her small fist wrapped around the doctor's folded letter. My wife didn't notice. I pretended to rest, pretended to drift, pretended not to watch her unlock her phone, angle it away from me, fingers moving faster than necessary, deleting something. I didn't speak, didn't question, didn't accuse. I simply waited for her to ask the question I knew she feared. What did the doctor tell you? But she didn't ask. She never asked. Silence is its own confession. Later, when she went to get water, I requested the full medical file, not a summary, the complete record. It took 6 signatures and 20 minutes. Inside it, in careful medical language, the genetics specialist had documented a concern. Our daughter's recent test results showed markers inconsistent with my own. Not proof, but the kind of discrepancy a doctor can't ignore. I didn't react, not outwardly. Inside, something ancient and calm moved into place, like a man returning to a room he once lived in and finding everything exactly where he left it. When she returned, our daughter stirred, opened her hand, and the folded paper drifted into my wife's lap. She froze. She smoothed the paper open, read the first line. Her breath hitched. Her hands began trembling so subtly I almost missed it. She sat down, slowly, quietly, like someone lowering herself into cold water. "What is this?" she whispered, but her eyes said she already knew. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The truth sat between us, sterile and white and undeniable. She folded the paper again, but her fingers slipped. It fell to the floor. "I can explain," she said, voice cracking like a poorly cut thread. I exhaled once. Controlled. Measured. "I know." 2 words. Enough to end her. I handed her the rest of the file, the full, annotated report she didn't know I had. No rage, no raised voice, just delivery. A final act of clarity. Her face collapsed in on itself. Tears, breathless apologies, pleas for context, promises to fix what was already carved into stone. I watched her unravel with the same quiet interest I might watch a distant storm. "You weren't at a wedding," I said softly. She flinched, hard. She knew I had checked. Phone records, location history, bank statements. She realized this wasn't sudden, this was prepared. "You left me," I said. "But you didn't leave him." The truth landed like a precise incision, clean, fatal. I signed my discharge papers before she finished crying. I lifted our daughter, my daughter or not, she was innocent, and kissed her forehead. She sighed softly, peaceful. My wife reached for me. I stepped back. Not angry, just done. "I survived surgery alone," I told her. "I can survive everything else alone too." Her knees buckled as I walked past her. I didn't look back. Truth doesn't require witnesses, only consequences. At the elevator, I breathed in the cold, sterile air, and for the first time in a long time, I felt nothing, nothing at all.